Hi guys, this is just a quick one and I'm going to call it the Unseen Poetry Cheat Sheet. So hopefully it gives you some go-to safety blankets in the Unseen Poetry exam. In terms of analytical language, when we are doing the Unseen Poetry, I really encourage my grades 6 to 9 to comment on caesura if it is present. Now, when we are analysing caesura, we want to talk about, or we want to use words like magnifies. Example, the reason, and I say magnifies, is either the caesura is magnifying the section before the pause, or in turn it is magnifying the section after the pause, or it is doing both. I shall post an example to show you what I mean. Use the opening of Mammoth's Wood, for example, and we get that notion where it says the wasted young, and you've got your caesura there, then naturally it magnifies the idea that the young have had their innocence destroyed and that their lives have been wasted. Second of all, if we're, again, in terms of analytical language, we are looking at in media res for the grade 6 to 9, in the middle of. Ask yourself what we are thrown into the middle of as a reader, and in terms of analytical response, I would put this allows the reader. So again, we'll use Mammoth's Wood as an example for years afterwards. It allows the reader to understand that a period of time has passed. But the other thing it allows the reader to do is it sets up two interpretations. So for example, for years afterwards, the bodies are being found. Or is it one instance years afterwards 20 bodies were found? Or is it consistently over years bodies are being found? It allows the reader to feel sympathy. It allows us to feel the trauma that the farmers feel when they discover the bodies. Next, in terms of analytical, again, this is just quick cheats. If you need guidance, I would be looking at Volta if it changes the tone of the poem where, so that's simple. But don't forget, we have got rhyme schemes, free verse, alternate rhyme and rhyming couplet. The rhyming couplet places two rhymes together. So again, in terms of analytical interpretation, we can talk about togetherness and unison. When it is alternate rhyme, again, alternate means something changes. So what is changing? Is it emotion? Is it time? Is it also conflict? So again, in analytical responses, alternate rhyme sets up something changing and or a conflict. When we get a free verse, analytically, I would be looking at things like individuality and or lack thereof. The fact that somebody might have been stripped of their identity, of their own persona. The other thing about freedom, we're talking about human rights, lack of human rights, the longing to have it. If it's a love poem, is somebody desperate to kind of sever ties within the relationship and have their independence returned. Point of warning, I read a lot of essays where somebody's written the irregular stanzas implies she feels irregular or he feels irregular. Guys, that's absolute nonsense, feeling irregular. Who determines that? So when we're talking irregular stanzas, consider. Again, I encourage my students, my 6 to 9, to really hammer the structure. Again, another thing you can do is look at the start of the poem and the end. Is there a cyclical link? If we looked at Mammoth's Wood, the first line is for years afterwards, the wasted youth. This links to the end where we get absent tongues, as in the wasted youth have been ignored due to the lies of propaganda and or used in battle, and nobody has really kind of remembered them, respected them, or almost cared for them. So there's that horrendous link.